Welcome to another day on the Journey Shake Chem. I'm so happy to see you today, and we have 2 warm-up questions for you to do, so please do them to the best of your ability in that composition notebook, and we'll see you in a moment. Number 1 is finding the oxidation number of the underlying element. I know you're getting much better at this because we've been practicing it. In the first one, we're looking for the chlorine in this polyatomic ion. I separate the polyatomic ion out, and it has an overall charge of -1. Oxygen is -2, the overall charge is -1, therefore chlorine must be +1. In this case, phosphite has an overall charge of -3. Oxygen is -2. There are 3 of them, which gives me a -6 on the oxygen. I set my equation equal to the overall charge, and phosphorus in this case must be +3. Now in C, we have a very unique situation where hydrogen is in the negative position. Well, hydrogen can change. It's a nonmetal, but potassium never changes. Potassium is +1, therefore in this case, hydrogen must be -1. In the next compound, I am looking for the carbon. Now, oxalate, C2O4, has an overall charge of -2. I'm going to write it over here. Oxygen is -2. There are 4 of them, giving me a -8. And the overall polyatomic ion is -2. However, there are 2 carbons. And therefore, when I solve this equation, carbon is +3. Nitrite has an overall charge of -1. Oxygen is -2. There are 2 of them, giving me a -4. And the overall charge of this polyatomic ion is -1. Therefore, nitrogen is +3. And this final one that we have here is hydrogen peroxide. And hydrogen is normally +1, and there are 2 of them, giving me a +2. Therefore, both of these together must be -2. So it's a polyatomic ion with a -2 charge. I set my equation equal to -2, and there are 2 oxygens. In this case, oxygen is -1. So oxygen is -1 in peroxide. And that's one of the exceptions for peroxide, that oxygen is a -1 in peroxide. Normally oxygen, its periodic position, it would be a -2. And when oxygen is a diatomic molecule all by itself, it's 0. So peroxide, it's -1. And that is the warm-up today. I was happy to see you, and your facilitator will go over the answers to the worksheet with you, and we will continue to practice. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow.